Hi there viewers, it's another wonderful Thursday and this is the Brunch Show on Value Chain TV, TVS for short. I am Patience Moses, your host throughout the program. Today we have a lot of exciting and insightful segments from the newspaper review, this week in history, and obviously the entertainment segment. I have a lot of gist for you guys and I'm sure you're excited because Mr. Williams is back again. Hi, Mr. Williams.
I'm fine.
How have you
been?
been?
I'm fine. I'm good.
I am my viewers. I've missed you for a while.
I've missed the show as well, and our viewers at home.
Thank God you're back. I hope you had a very nice time during your Easter break.
Wonderful time.
Okay, all right. So stay tuned, and after this, we're going straight to the newspaper review segment. Okay, so welcome to this particular segment. I have Mr. Williams here. He's going to do justice as usual to the headlines. There are so many headlines today, we won't be exhausting, but the very big headline that is practically in all the papers is the headline about the increase in tariff. So we are going to be looking at it from Daily Trust paper. It says NLC CSOs reject electricity tariff hike.
Yes, if you look at the various newspapers today, you see that a lot of organizations and civil liberty organizations, all of them are coming out to condemn the tariff hike. Even TUC also spoke yesterday about it. Is it the right time for the government to do this? So, but looking at it again, what the angle they are coming from, will the tariff hike solve our energy problem as regards electricity? No, it won't. So this is what they are saying, and it will further worsen the situation of the common man. Because whenever there is a hike in a tariff, it will be transferred to the common man on the streets, because all these businesses that run on energy and so on and so forth, what they want, maybe what you are paying for 500 naira, at the end of the day you end up paying 2,000 naira. So the transfer of all this is as a result of the hike, which the common man is going to suffer at the end of the day. So this is not the right time, and I think the government should listen to the organizations that are making this plea and see how they can come to a round table to see how they can at least meet at a better point other than what they have on ground at the moment.
That's true. And then it left me thinking, the issue of bypassing with these is going to also, like, there's going to be a hike in bypassing too.
That one is definite. There is nothing you can do about it. Yes.
Okay. So we are going to another newspaper, Daily Independence. And the story on Daily Independence, the big story on Daily Independence here says, CSOs back SERAP, ask governors to account for 5.9 trillion naira and $4.6 billion loans.
I think this is a good call, and our what do you call it, agencies, EFCC, ICPC, and the rest of them, they should wake up. Yes, I saw a letter yesterday. There was an open letter to ICPC, EFCC, and the rest of them. And they were talking about the former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, and regarding the money he borrowed. And recently, even the current governor, Obasani, also made a statement. He said the state cannot pay salaries because of the huge debt on the state. Remember, El-Rufai tried to borrow some dollars in the previous year, way back when, what's his name, Senator Shehu Sani was a senator. So they did not allow him to do that. So he was furious, and that was why he lost his seat. And he borrowed the money. At the end of the day, the state is suffering it, because the current governor is saying they are paying huge amount to service this debt. So if something is not done, we are going to drag, in fact, they are going to drag Nigeria back, and generations yet unborn will suffer for it.
True.
At the end of the day. So I think it is a wake-up call, and something must be done about it. All these borrowing here and there, there should be some form of law, especially from the National Assembly. State governors should not be allowed to just go out and borrow money. At the end of the day, it is Nigeria and Nigerians that will suffer for it. It keeps putting our economy in jeopardy. Today we are crying things are expensive and so on and so, but we are servicing a lot of debts. So something ought to be done about it, and fast.
Thank you, sir, on that. So we're moving to the Daily Times, and the big story here still goes back to electricity tariff increase. But then I want us to look at this one. Says make retirement easy for workers. NLC urges federal government and states.
Absolutely. Retirement has been in the front burner for some time now. You remember last week and 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the huge largesse for past governors. You hear maybe a governor that just finished 4-year term or 8-year term, he's collecting a lot of money.
So much.
And you look at a civil servant that has put in over 35 years of service, and he's going home with chicken change, peanuts. So something needs to be done concerning that. Our retirees need to be taken care of. Servicing or giving their service to the nation for 35 years is not child's play. So something needs to be done so that they can have a good retirement age, a good retirement plan for their families, so that they can rest well. Not that after putting on all these efforts, you go back to retire and then you start thinking, how will I pay school fees? How will I pay house rent? This is not the time. So retirement is for rest and not to overburden yourself. Yes, there should be a good plan for that.
I think also when they are planning, they should also make sure that, because I've heard of cases when people are planning to get their pension fees, and then some end up even dying before they get them, because the process, the bureaucratic process are just too tedious. And so I think they should also work on that. Thank you so much, Mr. Williams. Okay, so many headlines, but because of time, we'll have to stop here. These ones we've actually had a lot from them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so from this particular segment, we're going to This Week in History. Stay tuned.
On April 1st, 1955, the Nigerian Parliament was formally opened by Sir John Macpherson, marking a significant step towards self-government. On April 2nd, 1959, Nigeria held its first parliamentary elections under a new constitution, leading to the formation of the first indigenous government in October. On April 1st, 1955, the Nigerian Parliament was formally opened by Sir John Macpherson, marking a significant step towards self-government. On April 2nd, 1959, Nigeria held its first parliamentary elections under a new constitution, leading to the formation of the first indigenous government in October of the same year. On April 3rd, 1984, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari introduced the War Against Indiscipline campaign aimed at promoting discipline and combating corruption. On April 4th, 1975, Nigeria ratified the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, signaling its commitment to nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation. On April 6, 1992, Nigeria's military government under General Ibrahim Babangida lifted the ban on political activities allowing for the formation of political parties and paving the way for the transition to civilian rule.
Wow, interesting and exciting and also educating memories to linger on. The one that stood out for me is the fact that it was on April that the ban on political activities was lifted, and I can say that was more like the beginning of democracy, or the birth of democracy or civilian rule in Nigeria. And then also war against indiscipline. That is a campaign I would advise like it should be brought back, because the rate at which indiscipline and disorderliness is going on in this nation, that campaign should be brought back like it should. War against indiscipline campaign. I remember I would hear stories of maybe you throw something on the ground, you'll just be arrested or stuff like that. It will be good so that there will be other and a lot of all of these bad behaviors will be off the streets and off the country. Thank you once again, SA Ufoma, for this segment. Stay tuned on the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the entertainment gist. Okay, dear viewers, welcome back, and this is the entertainment segment. I know you'll be waiting for all the gist. Which gist does patients have for us again today? Well, if you are updated and up to date as I am, you would know that something is happening. Like there's real chaos somewhere. Now this is it, the entertainment segment. The story of Bobrisky being arrested. AFCC Bobrisky is finally in AFCC's custody. So I'm going to just read to us. This is coming from Linda Ikeji's blog. She says, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have arrested Idris Okuneye, aka Bobrisky, confirming his arrest to the blog. The spokesperson of the commission, Dele Oyewale, said Bobrisky was arrested for currency mutilation and abuse of the naira. So, if you can remember back then now, a few weeks ago, the clash between Bobrisky and Very Dark Man and all of that, and now this arrest is coming in. But then, the interesting part is that EFCC says they are not arresting Bobrisky for being a cross-dresser or for the reasons that Nigerians and maybe VDM would want him to be arrested for, but for currency mutilation. I remember some time ago, there was this new rule apart that's against mutilation of currencies, spraying of naira, and I think Bobrisky is now a victim here. He has committed a crime he shouldn't commit. So this is why he's actually on with EFCC in their custody. I hope it goes well for him. Still on entertainment segments, there are so many gists today. Then now the recent controversy between Nathaniel Bassey and the post that says that Mercy Chinwo's child it resembles him. So there's an update to this. Nathaniel Bassey was furious. A lot of Nigerians were furious, fans and all of that. He came out and they were like, okay, what sort of post is this? What kind of content are you trying to create? This is defamation. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't say things you're not sure of. So Mr. Nathaniel Bassey, the gospel artist, has petitioned the Inspector General of Police, Koyede Egbe Tokun, seeking the investigation and prosecution of 4 persons for alleged criminal defamation and cyber stalking against him. And said this is coming barely a week after 4 social media users connoted a vicious insinuation that Bassey is the biological father of the son of fellow gospel singer Mercy Chinwo. So the allegation actually gained the video made by this man actually went viral. A lot of people were giving their comments and it wasn't sitting well with so many people. So on that note, Nathaniel Bassey contacted his lawyer, and his lawyer is working on the case. So the people identified for these Okoronko Ejike, Kingsley Ibe, Terence Eckert, and DJ Spalt Kid. These were the people that the controversy is revolving around. So Okoronko actually made the first post, despite the fact that he came out and then tendered an apology. Yet Nathaniel Bassey has taken the case and then he's handed it over to the law enforcement agency to do their part. Still on the gist, let's look back at the Erisco controversy also. It's more like we should actually learn when it comes, although there's freedom of speech, freedom of expression and all of that, you can do whatever you want to do in the name of content creation, but it is also very important that we are careful with the kind of content we bring out. The Erisco tomato paste, she came up with a review saying that the product lack quality, and for this she was sued by the company. That is because you have no right whatsoever to say things you are not sure of in the name of freedom of expression and all of that. So on this note, I would urge us all to be very careful and know that whatever you say will be used against you, will be held against you. You should know that you are responsible for whatever things you see, whatever content you create, and even whatever actions you take. This should be a reminder to us to watch the things we do, what we see, and that you don't just talk in the name of trying to entertain people, trying to create content and all of that. We should all be very, very careful. I hope you had a great time on the show. On this note, I will be signing out, and like I said, I would always say I don't want to go away, but I have to go away. Time is not on our side, obviously. So do well to stay. Watch out for another segment on Monday, another episode on Monday. We're bringing you more and exciteful and educating content on the program. Thank you so much for staying tuned. I remain Patience Moses, and do have a lovely day ahead.